Hello everyone. So today we're going to look at inequalities. This whole week we'll be doing inequalities. Most of it will be on Edulastic, but today is going to be just a little bit of notes just so you guys have it so it can make the rest of the week easier. So what we've looked at in the past before vacation is, and this is note page 1 that you do not have to copy. Okay, the next page you have to copy. This is just an intro. So we've been looking at stuff like this: y equals 3x plus 2. And we've been graphing those and we've been solving those. You know, maybe we have 5y equals 10x plus 20, and we want to get y by itself, so we're going to divide by 5, right? Divide each piece by 5, and we get y equals 2x plus 4, and then we can, solve that. Well, graph that. Now, we're going to be looking at inequalities. Like y is greater than or equal to 3x plus 2. Or maybe y is less than or equal to 3x plus 2. Or you could have it without the lines, right? Just regular greater than and regular less than. Okay, so now we're going to be switching from graphing and solving equations to graphing and solving inequalities. And the only difference when you solve it is, and we'll be doing examples of this on the next page, is let's say you have an equation, you have negative 5y equals 10. Okay, just a regular equation. We divide both sides by negative 5, and y equals negative 2. Now, if that was an inequality, doesn't matter which one, we'll use greater than. When you divide by a negative, it's like dividing by the opposite. So that means this inequality sign is going to turn the other way. Okay, so y would be less than negative 2. And same thing if this was, if this was less than or equal to, well, that was ugly. If this was less than or equal to, it would flip and become greater than or equal to. Essentially what it is we're dividing by the opposite, so everything changes. But if you change the equal sign, it still stays the equal sign. Because the equal sign is the same thing if you read it left to right or right to left. It's just two lines. Inequality signs, though, when you read them backwards, or you opposite, or you flip them, they become noticeably different. The arrow changes or the mouth changes depending on how you look at it. So that's the symbol reason behind it. That's why the equal sign is shaped the way it is. That's why these inequalities are shaped the way they are. So just keep this in mind, okay? When you divide or multiply by a negative with an inequality, the sign is going to flip. Okay, so again, this is page 1, intro. Don't have to copy that. We're on to page 2. Okay, so page 2, I'm going to do 2 with you in green, and then there's going to be 2 I'm going to write for you in purple on the next page. So these 2 you're going to have to copy, and there'll be 2 on your own on the next page. So we got 2x plus 3y is greater than 15. And we're going to have 2x minus 3y is greater than 15. And we got to get these in slope-intercept form, which means we need to get y by itself. So we're going to start off by getting rid of this x term. We're going to minus 2x from both sides because we're getting rid of the 2 and the x. So we're going to have to subtract it. Greater than sign drops down. X term first, number term second. Okay, that's a positive 15, so that's where the plus 15 comes from. Now we divide by 3. And we'll get y is greater than. That fraction cannot be simplified. Negative 2 over 3 just stays negative 2 over 3. And you can divide 15 by 3, which will get you 5. And again, tomorrow we're going to look at graphing these guys. Okay? The second one, first step is still the same. We're going to minus 2x from both sides. Okay? Make sure you drop down the negative 3y. That's why I drew the arrow there, just to make sure you're alert that we're dropping the minus sign with the 3. Greater than 2x plus 15. Now, because we have an inequality, things are going to get a little bit different when we divide by -3. I put it here in red to draw your attention to it. Y, now that greater than symbol is going to flip. So you have y is less than. Now these two negatives cancel each other out, so this is actually positive 2 over 3x. And remember, 15 divided by -3 is -5. So if you notice, between the green one and the red one, the only thing that stayed the same was the y in front. The inequality flipped. The fraction went from negative over here in green to positive over here in red. And +5 now became -5. And that's all the different. That's how much different it is when you have a plus sign here and a minus sign over here. And I'm talking about the top here, +3y and -3y. All right, so if you want to pause the video, copy down these notes. And now if you're back, I'm going to clear the page here, and these are going to be the two for you guys to do on your own. Okay, it works the same way. It doesn't matter what inequality you have. So let's do 2x plus 5y is less than or equal to 20. And let's do the same thing, 2x minus 5y is less than or equal to 20. Okay, if it's less than or equal to, it doesn't matter which inequality you have, they'll behave the same way. When you divide by a negative, it will flip. All right, so that's your assignment for today.